We are here for Women Supporting Women Wednesdays. We are here every Wednesday. Be sure to click the notification link and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Tonight, I have a wonderful guest, my girlfriend, Alena Smith. How you doing, boo?
Hey y'all, I'm doing good.
It's so good to get you up here. Look, she don't need no introduction.
But
She's a mom, a wife, an entrepreneur. She has a nonprofit. So, Alena, tell everybody about your organizations and what you're doing.
okay, well, thank you, Ruth, for having me.
Yes.
Super excited to jump on here and share our story. And like I told you, I'm super proud of you and what you're doing. So creating this platform for women like me to come on here and speak is I'm just super excited. But as she said, I'm Alena. I am a mother of two miracle boys. I'm a
Yes.
wife. Just celebrated 12 years with my husband of being married. Yes,
Yes.
every
Amazing.
year is a celebration.
Yes.
And I'm a serial entrepreneur. By day, I actually work in HR full time. I'm an instructor at an online college, but my passion has become just pushing my nonprofit and supporting families in the NICU because of our journey, my journey to motherhood, our journey to being
Right.
parents. Unfortunately, both of our sons were born prematurely. And I found that it was healing for me to give back to other women and just pay it forward and just thank God for saving our children.
Right.
Through it, I became an author and wrote my book, Trust Your Strength for Mamas and Miracles, and just really provide tips for them and how to advocate for their babies, what questions to ask. And it's the hospitals that we've been a part of have really embraced our book and they give it out to families when they come into the NICU.
It's
So I'm
amazing.
super excited that our story, started off as pain, but we've been able to turn it into passion and help so many families. I'm also a business owner where
Yes.
I ran track in college. So with my weight gain, it's been high and lows, but I thought one
Girl,
way to
bye.
hold
She look good, y'all. Look.
thank you. But one way to hold myself accountable was I was like,
Yes.
all right, let me start this brand called Mom Strength Apparel. And it's just
Hmm.
another way for us to practice self-care and encourage, me and other women that, we
Right.
have to take care of ourselves. So I
Yes.
have a lot going on these days, but
Yes.
everything that I do, I'm passionate about. So
I love it. And you do it with grace. You always look amazing whenever I see you. And just continuing to shine and look beautiful. What secrets would you give others out there to celebrating 12 years of marriage? Because sis, look, I ain't got there, okay?
listen, the secret is everybody says it, right?
Yeah.
Communication, but also growing and accepting your partner as they grow. I always tell Wendell, we talk all the time, like, I'm not the same person I was when I got married. I think I was what,
Wow.
24? We
Right.
were young. He was 32. We didn't know what marriage looked like, but we knew we were in love. We
Right.
knew that we wanted the same things out of life. So that was like
Right.
our foundation. But I always say that we are friends first. We
Right.
have a good time together and
I
we've
love it.
had highs and lows. We've been, I've been laid off. He's been laid off. We moved from North Carolina to Tennessee to
Right.
Atlanta. So
Forgot
we've
about
been
that.
through a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
But our friendship, we have a solid foundation
That's
and
it.
we are literally growing with each other.
That's
So
it.
that is the key is to keep communication open. And when you change, let your spouse know so that
Right.
they can meet your needs, because it's different from time
Yes.
to time. So
I love it. I love it. And you guys look happy and the boys look amazing. So how was that journey? Like I know with having the babies premature definitely catapulted to you to, really do the book. But was it like anything in particular that, really pushed you to say, okay, you know what, I'm going to really turn this into a book? Or was it just the journals and you just kind of combined them?
honestly, I always tell people, I'm like, God chose our family for a reason.
Right.
And while we were going through it, I didn't know that,
Right.
I was angry
Right.
because, I've been healthy my entire life. I've
Yeah.
never had any medical issues until I wanted to become a mother.
Right.
So I think that was my first hospital stay is when I was
Wow.
on bed rest with Trey. So he
Mhm.
was a 31 weeker. He came at 3 pounds, 12 ounces. He spent
Wow.
5 weeks in the NICU at Wake Med in Raleigh. And that journey was hard, but I
Right.
didn't realize it until we had Charlie. So Trey really hit all his milestones. He didn't really have any major complications,
Okay.
to getting him home. He was just small. He just needed to gain weight. So once he
Right.
got home, he had asthma. But once he got home, he did really well. But I always say that Trey's journey prepared us for Charlie because The
Okay.
first 5 months of Charlie, he was a 25 weeker. He weighed 1 pound. So I knew that if, our 3 pound baby was in the hospital for 5 weeks, that we was going to have a long journey. So mentally for me, I just said I have to take it one day at a time. We've been
Right.
here before, but I had to make some hard decisions because when Trey came home, I had to go back to work. So this time around, I'm like, and he was really small. So I would come home on my lunch break, like, did he eat? Because he needed to gain weight.
Right.
So I was just all over the place, just
Right.
wanted to ensure that he was gaining weight. So with Charlie, I was like, well, if he's 1 pound, we're gonna be here for a long time. So I chose not to go on maternity leave. So, some
Right.
people thought I was crazy, but I always work remote. So I would be in the NICU with my laptop. He was so
No,
small,
that's
so I
right.
couldn't really hold them, but I was
Mhm.
present, right? And then also being able to be present, but also focus on something else and not just sit there in the NICU and do
Right.
nothing. I
Yep.
chose to keep working, and my company was super supportive.
That's good.
And he was there for 328 days in the NICU.
Wow.
So you talk about emotional roller coaster, so many highs, so many lows. But the first 5 months, I say, was not easy, but I knew what to expect. But the
Right.
hardest part is when he took a turn from the worst. We were preparing to actually come home, and he had a setback that ended him on a ventilator. And for 2 months, he coded a couple of times. The doctor actually came in crying one time, and she was like, Alena, I don't know what else we can do. We've tried everything. I feel like we're going to lose him. And they said, we need to send him to a different hospital that specializes with babies with chronic lung disease. So when the doctor's crying, you already know, you go,
Right.
but it's like they're giving up on your baby. So emotionally, it was really, really, really hard because
Oh my
we did
God.
not know what the next day was going to look like for
Right.
a long time. It was just like, just keep showing up and just keep praying that things are going to turn around.
Right.
So through that journey, the nurses would say, you handling it so different. But God just kept saying, keep pushing. I'm going to show you
Mhm.
why. I'm going to show you why.
Right.
And I didn't know what it meant then. I had definitely a lot of weak moments, but nobody knew it because I would just cry at night. But I get up in the
Right.
morning and say, my baby needs me. So I'm going to get up
Right.
and I'm going to go into this hospital. But all of it was mentally in my head. But once
Mhm.
he came home, I started to write. And I was like, this is going to help somebody else because we just went through this
Wow.
twice. And that's where the book, I never thought I was going to be an author, but it was just like, you made it
Again.
through, help somebody else.
Right. For
Yeah.
sure. And obviously, you are definitely helping other people because you've been on TV, you've been featured in a lot of different, a lot of different companies have featured you in your story. I mean, it's amazing. And I didn't even know like all of Charlie, all of the aspects of it. I mean, I know you were in Georgia, but dang, I did not know that. And that's a blessing. And he is like a miracle. Both
Oh
of
my
them are
God.
miracles. There's
Yeah.
nothing but God. I know for me, I worked in a NICU for like 5 years, pretty much all through undergrad. And so
Hmm.
I remember, seeing so many kids get airlifted to, different hospitals and just see, the parents going through and me telling them that they couldn't come in during visiting hour, if it wasn't visiting hours and that type of thing. And it was really hard to have to tell them that because they would get mad at me because I'm like the bad guy. And
Right.
so I know what it feels like to be on the opposite end, but to see the parents come in, to see the grandparents come in and the kids and the siblings and stuff like that come in and how much of an impact it affected them. So
But
I
even with
definitely.
that, Trey didn't meet Charlie for 6 months.
Wow.
So imagine, one thing is Trey never wanted to be the only child. So that was another reason why I couldn't give up on just having
Um,
one child because I remember him going to the doctor and they asked him, do you have any siblings? And he was like, no, just cousins. Like he wanted to be a brother
um,
so bad. So, as his mom, I wanted to give him a
right,
sibling. And also we always said we wanted two kids too.
right,
So just having to know that all he could see was pictures and
right,
videos, but he could not meet his brother. And then
right,
ironically, he actually met him, and he couldn't meet him because of the it was cold and flu season. So the
right.
hospital has rules on when people can come in and not. So he happened
Mhm.
to meet him on Mother's Day, and we didn't plan on it.
Wow.
Like we would take turns at like when he would come with us to the hospital, and then one of us would go in, and the other person would sit in the lobby with him or go and play
Right.
games in the hospital. But that day, they was like, we lifted the siblings if you want them to come in, but Charlie was
Um,
still on a ventilator. So we was like, I don't know about this. Like the first time he meeting him, he hooked up to all these tubes and on the
right,
ventilator, Charlie can't move, right? So it was just like, but we was like, well, let's just see what happens. But when he came in, he was just so happy. He never said, "What's this tooth or what's that?" He was like, "I'm gonna teach him everything."
Oh, that's so
He was,
sweet.
it was so sweet. Like, and I always say Charlie, Trey is the reason why Charlie's doing so good because he never looked at him different. He's like, when he was
No.
on the ventilator at home, he would pick him up and we're like, no, be careful. But he never looked at him different. And he literally kept his word and he has taught him everything that he knows.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love it. It's so
We have a good
cute. I love
relationship.
it. Have you thought about doing like any coloring books or like anything else when it comes to the kids?
So yeah, I actually talked to Trey about him telling a story from his perspective,
I love it.
and with both of them being miracles. But because Charlie's journey was so long, and like you said, when we Good Morning America, Fox
Mhm.
5, like all these news stories, picked up the celebration of him
Right,
graduating from everything. And
right,
even though Trey's pictures was in there, but a lot of people don't know that, because they featured Charlie. So I
right.
wanted Trey to have an opportunity to tell his story from a sibling perspective,
Wow.
and also show that he is a major reason why Charlie's doing so good.
Right.
So if he was to do it, it would be from Trey's perspective.
I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah,
I love it. That would be amazing. I think it would be dope, but I think it would do well because kids love to, when they have something that they can visualize, especially knowing that he's been through that. And I know he's
hmm
not the only sibling that has went through, having a sibling in the hospital and that type of thing, especially now in this space we're in with
right,
COVID. And with kids with cancer and different illnesses and stuff like that, it would be nice to have a book from a child's perspective talking about their sibling being in the hospital and how they were able to help them because he's not the only one.
right, right.
I love it. That would be an amazing story. I'm all for it. Look, I'll support it.
See, and look, but I told Trey, I said, all right, I'm not going to do it for you. You're going to have to help me do it. So that's why we haven't
Exactly.
started, because he said, he's interested, but he hasn't really, you know,
No,
I'm
yeah, he
not
like,
doing it
"Well,
for
mama,
you.
give me a chance, mommy."
Right. I ain't writing it for you, but I help
Right.
you. So,
Exactly. Look,
mhm.
lead the horse to water, but if we're not
No,
making it, we'll move
exactly.
after the fact.
Yeah.
What are you doing for Lena? I know that you are, wearing many hats. What are you doing to pour back into yourself?
My favorite thing to do, Ruth,
You
is to
hear that sigh?
travel. Yeah, it's travel, right? Because
Yes.
I always work from home. So a lot of times they don't respect that I
Right.
work from home and I got a job because
Right.
I'm always here. So
Right.
I always say that, I really love them dearly, but
Right.
raising two boys and a husband is not always easy. So
Right.
my best form of self-care is traveling and just kind of, switching up my atmosphere, my
Mhm.
environment, and just being able to relax because when I'm home, there's not a lot of
Right.
relaxing going on.
Right.
So, but
Exactly.
traveling is how important to me.
Exactly. I got you. But during the
Mhm.
week, what are you doing? So when you are home and you are doing the hustle and bustle with the kids and stuff like that, what are you doing to just decompress and just take us, at home when you're not able to travel?
Nothing. It's all
Oh,
about
Lena,
it's,
what in
it's
the world?
all about them. Honest, because like I said, I work full time, and then at night I'm doing my part time job, which I'm about to get rid of because I'm like I really need I need to like
Jack
enjoy
of all trades,
some of
okay?
my labor. Like at this
Right.
point, I don't even have all these jobs. Like so,
Right. Listen, look, but
yeah.
it's hard when you're used to having multiple streams
hmm
of
hmm
income and you like having your own money. So I get it.
But Trey plays travel baseball too. So we're
Oh
at
man.
the baseball, and that's intense. So Tuesdays and
Yeah.
Thursdays he has practice, and if I'm not there, I'm with Charlie. And then on the weekends, if we're here, we're traveling.
Wow.
So it's when I'm home, it's always go time. So it's not really a lot of ain't no self care for Alena during the
Oh
week.
man.
I have to create those opportunities, and a lot of time it's me blocking out time. Like, oh, I'm going out of town.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Look, I'm gonna encourage you to get to do something. Even I'm gonna know you do your workouts. So that's another
Oh
that's one
yeah,
that's
so that's I
motivator.
mean, yeah, you're right. But sometimes, listen, like I said, it's highs and lows. So when I'm in
Right.
the zone, I'll get up at 5 in the morning and I'll work
Whew.
out. And so you're right. That is if I'm home, that's what I'm doing. If I'm
Okay.
not exhausted. So yeah, I would say working out. And I feel good, but sometimes, I'm only one person, so I can't do
Right.
everything. So
Right.
sometimes the workout has to take a back seat if I'm
Hmm.
exhausted from working late. So, but when I get in the zone, that is my self care.
Good. Good. I love it. It definitely helps me because I don't look, I ain't got no man. So I'll be like, look, I need to release tension as much as possible. So look, working out is my go-to during the
Yeah,
week. Okay.
yeah.
And then maybe I can, and I have my moments where I'm like, Ruth, you can't work out today. Like you don't have the energy, you don't have the time, just
Hmm.
relax. And I'll beat myself eternally like, you should went to work out today. And then I have to I'll be having a bunch of self-talk back and forth.
Girl,
I'll
I've
be
been doing
like,
the same thing. I'm like, you feel your best when you get up in the morning at 5:30. Why you ain't get up? Like,
it's hard. But like you said, it's balance.
yeah, yeah.
And we get into that space of getting into the fall, and it's a different time. We no longer trying to be hot girl summer, having hot girl
Mm-mm,
summer. So
mm-mm. It's a different type of turn up these days.
exactly. And then we got homecoming coming up. So look, shout out to the Eagles. I know,
Yes.
look, A&T homecoming is this weekend, but
Oh, is it?
yeah, when I had seen something, and I think it's the 31st. No, I'm lying. It's the
I
weekend before ours,
Oh, okay, okay. I didn't think
the
so.
31st.
You know when does an Aggie? Our
Oh,
house
that's
divided.
right. Duh.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all divide a house for real. And y'all didn't go to the A&T and Central game, did y'all?
Mm-mm. Nope.
Okay.
No, we didn't.
Yeah. So look, a lot of people have been asking, mixed feelings about going to homecoming. So I just been kind of listening
But
and
we coming.
right. That's why I'm like,
We're
look,
bringing
I'm
them.
going to homecoming. I'm not missing it. I mean, it's
If
outside.
it's not canceled, then it's go time.
Right. And they're not canceling the game. The game is still going on. And majority of the stuff, the parties and stuff are, I mean, we know they have Central alumni, but it's not per se a Central affiliate. So you still
Mm-hmm.
can have your party.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm like, look, we continue. We done missed a year. We ain't trying to miss 2 years
I
of
know that's
homecoming.
right. Look, I'm ready.
Me too. Look, I've had bells and whistles, honey. So I know what you continuing to push. You have any new projects? Anything you want to share? Any advice you want to give any new moms or any moms that have children that's in NICU?
I would just say the best piece of advice, and it's hard. I know it's hard, but taking some time out for yourself. So this past
Mm.
Saturday, we had our second annual Treasure Strength brunch where
Yes,
there were moms.
congratulations.
Oh my God, we had so much fun. And then I
Good.
realized, and I'm like, I don't really like putting on events, but I love the impact of women getting together and being positive and just
Right,
supporting each other.
right,
And just the stories that the women shared, and I knew most of everyone that was there, but not everybody.
right.
And it just was so inspiring to know that we go through so much,
Hmm.
but we keep pushing, and a lot of times people don't take moments for themselves,
Right,
especially when you have a loved one in the hospital, especially
right,
your baby. I was the same way. My mind was on my child. My
right,
mind was on my child was there every day. But I had friends that would say, Alena, let me just take you out for a second. And
right.
I would go.
That's
But
good.
then you'll have people judging you like, isn't her baby in the NICU? What's she doing out? But it's like, you don't know my story. You don't know what
Exactly.
I've been
You know
through.
nothing about
And
me.
oh my
Exactly.
God, one of the moms there, her baby's still in the NICU, and she came, and I told her I was so proud of her for taking 4 hours out of her day to show up for herself. Imagine, for me, Charlie was there for 10 months. So, people praying for you and saying, we can't wait when is he coming home? But that's a long journey.
Right.
Imagine spending every day 10 months in the hospital and not doing nothing. Mentally, you're exhausted. So
I imagine. Oh my God.
the advice I would give is like you can be selfish for a day or for a couple of hours for
Right.
yourself to be mentally sane because
Oh,
we take on so much and it's hard. It's
right.
hard.
For sure. I commend you and I'm so proud of you. And I think
Thank
you
you.
are amazing. I definitely think you have a amazing story. And you might not like hosting the events, but you do it well. I
Oh,
mean,
thank
looking
you.
at you moderating for the Prevailing Woman event, you look like a natural. It looks like you're in your element. So even though you saying that you don't like doing it, it doesn't come off that way. It comes off like this is what you were put here to do. It
Mhm.
looks very natural, and you have a presence and a personality that can, you really like
Oh,
pull people. You know what I'm saying? If they really, you either hot or cold. It's not a
right.
middle with you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm the same way. But if somebody really knows you, then you can see your heart. You can see the exterior is not you're not just hard. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Probably. be like, Lena don't deal with everybody. I
I
don't
really
either. I
did.
don't either. You know what I'm saying? But everything that you're doing is just you're shining and it's
Oh, thank you.
gleaming. I love it, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. And when I say I don't like like creating events because I'm not like I
Okay,
stay in
got
my
you.
lane. Like I know what I'm good
Got
at.
you.
But I'm telling you, like I'll just reach. I don't have a problem asking people for help. So I reach out to people. I reach out to my friends that I know that are, they love to plan events. They can do this. So I say, hey, I need your help here. I can get the moms here. I can get the people there. But I stay in my lane. I know what I'm good at. I really enjoy speaking at events. I remember the first time I talked about, wanting to speak at events. And my mentor at the time, she was like, I see you on Good Morning America. And
Yes.
normally I don't speak fear, and because me, I'm a go-getter when I put my mind to
Yes.
what I want to do.
Exactly.
But I remember saying, Good Morning America. Like I ain't say I
Right.
want to do all that. I was like, I just wanted to help a few moms. But
Right.
it was crazy because a year later, Good Morning America reached out to us to tell Charlie's story, and I'm like, that's when it gets scary because when you
Right.
get nervous and you really see that you walking in your purpose and things start to happen that you don't even expect. And that's when I was like, Lena, like there's no need for you to be fearful because
Right.
this is your story and these
Right.
are your children. And I'm like, I've become one of those people that I can share this story over and over and over again
Right.
because I know how it literally changed our life,
Right.
and I'm
Yeah,
like, I remember,
chills. Oh my
I remember
God.
being a kid, and you be in church and you hear the person telling the same testimony over and over. We're like, we heard
Right.
that last week. Like,
Well, you're gonna hear it again.
you like, and I'm like, now I'm that person because I'm like, I remember those dark moments, and I'm like, but now you look at, you see Trey and Charlie.
Right.
Charlie came home in an ambulance with a ventilator on oxygen. He had a G tube, and to see him running around the neighborhood now and talking like we didn't hear him talk for 9 months because he had the trach. So I'm
Wow.
like moments just to hear him talk, like that is just like I just look at them and I talk about them all the time because I'm like everybody's story don't end up like ours, right?
Mm-mm.
Charlie has become hope for one of the hardest decisions for me was him getting the tracheotomy because I'm like,
Mm.
I felt like, well, one, I wasn't educated at the time. I didn't know what a tracheotomy was and
Right.
what life would look like for him. And I was like, I want quality of life for my child.
Right.
But then I started to reach out to other moms, and one of the moms that spoke at the event this past weekend, she lived in Connecticut, and I remember looking up trach babies, and I saw her son, and I saw her, and they was living. They was
Wow.
living, and I tell her, I'm like, you never know how you can impact somebody else.
Right.
And watching her was so impactful for me because it gave me peace of mind. Like he wasn't getting better. They didn't know when he was coming home, but when I saw her and I saw her doing it, it literally said to me like, well, if she can do it, you can do it too. And
Right.
we made the decision, and it was the best decision for him because they was like, he's not gonna need the trach forever. He just needs his lungs to grow. And I was like, okay. And he got better. And so
Wow.
now I become that mom too, telling
Right.
other parents, especially in the Black community, that
Right.
it's like trach your baby if that's what they need. Every story is
Right.
different, but it allows them to be a baby and grow. And he only had it for 9 months. They took it out, and he's never looked back. And
Right.
I'm like, well, I guess we should have did it sooner, like. But
Wow.
fear will get in the way.
Yes. Yes, and
Yeah,
I can't imagine. I mean, especially making a decision to, to do that and to see him like that. I can't imagine. I know that had to be like heartbreaking, even him watching him having to go through the procedure, having to watch him for 9 months with it. And you know what I'm saying? Then you looking at other kids or you're looking at, what I'm saying, Trey, and you're like, hold on, he didn't have to do this. So,
mhm,
I mean, that has to be a lot. And I commend you and Wendell for sure.
yeah.
Like
And we
walking through
didn't
that.
share a lot of stuff on social media.
Right.
We only share like moments. I remember like him going into the surgery, and I remember I was all prayed out. Like I'm
Yeah.
like, God is probably tired of me praying,
Right.
and I need somebody else to stand in the gap, right?
Right.
So then I reached out and said, hey, can y'all just pray for us? This is a moment that we've been trying to avoid, but here we are. We're praying that he comes out, and that we do see a change. But there was moments that I did share because I was just like, I need somebody else to pray.
Right.
We've been praying and things haven't gotten better, So I'm like, it was really hard. Once we did the surgery, I was at peace. But when we had to start training to take care of him because we had to get him home, I would be in training and I'll just start crying. And when they'll just like give her a moment because then I had to accept like, how did we get here? This was really our life. Like
Right.
I'm literally about to change a trach, a hole in my son's neck, and this was life or death. If I do it wrong, he could die. So
Oh
it
my
was just like so
God.
much that I had to take in. But it was like, but we're here. It was hard. It was hard
Right.
when he got home going to the doctor. The ventilator weighs 20 pounds, so literally you need two people to get him in and out of the house with oxygen. And I never share none of that stuff on social media, but just and mind you, I was still, working too. But I'm like, my baby's gonna get to these doctor's appointments.
Right.
He's gonna do these therapies. And I tell parents all the time, again, that's why I wrote the book, is like early intervention is key. He's where he is now because it wasn't easy, but we reached out for the necessary
Right.
therapies and things that he needed so that it wasn't his situation for the rest of his life. It was just a
Right.
moment and a part of his story to help him get healthy. So
Right. That's amazing, man. That's amazing. And I pray that it continues to get picked up and people continue to be healed from the story. And what people don't understand is premature babies are born every day.
mm,
It's not as uncommon as people think, and I think definitely, like you said, the black community, the minority community, we don't know enough. And we just kind of just be nonchalant about stuff. And it's like, no, educate yourself, find out what's going on, and
yep.
make sure that you know what your pros and cons are so that you can make the best decision for you and your family.
And use your resources. After Charlie's situation, I volunteer. I'm a part of the family advisory committee at the hospital,
Oh,
so
wow.
that there's a lot of us in the NICU and not a lot of nurses and doctors that look like us. So
Right,
now I'm like, I'm feeling, and I'm sitting at that table and
right,
being able to speak for us and tell his story, and the young moms that look like us, African American women, they come to me. They don't, because they're like, wow, if she can do it, I can do
right.
it too. So we need that
Exactly.
presence. We need, and I realize I'm like I said, there's a purpose. God said, once you get through this, you're not going to just sit on it and just say thank you,
Right,
God, and just carry on with your merry way.
right,
We literally have done the work, and like I
right,
told you earlier, I don't share everything that we do on social media because it is a personal matter
right,
for a lot of these families. But I do
right,
share, when we are giving back and dropping off self-care packages at the
right,
hospital, or when we do have events, because I want people to see the work that we're doing, but I
right,
also know that some stuff needs to remain private because
right,
some things should not be shared, especially when you're dealing with a loved one that is in crisis a lot of the
right.
time.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's amazing. And how can people support your nonprofit and your cause? Can you tell
Yes,
them how to get
so
to you?
our website is trustyourstrength.org. You can see what we're doing in the community. Our Instagram page is trust_your_strength, and it's the same thing on Facebook. But you can go in there, you can see the stories. So many families reach out to me, and we share the babies when they were born and how they are now. So you can see the growth. You can see there's so many miracles, like you said. Preemies are born every day, and families share their stories. Just like I was looking for hope, now people come to our page to look for hope and
Right.
see babies like all the way in Africa,
Oh my
London.
God.
Like people reach out from all over and just say, "Hey, can you share my baby story?" And we
Wow.
do it, and it's just amazing to see. And I never thought I'd be a part of this community, right? Like I
Right.
said, I was healthy. It wasn't until the day that I realized you're on bed rest
Right.
again,
Right.
that here we are again. So nobody plans to be a micro preemie or a preemie mom.
Right.
Sometimes it just happens. So
Right.
but there's a community for you that when we provide the support, whatever you need, whether it be clothes, whether it's financial assistance, we give out gas cards. If you want to donate to our organization, we definitely accept donations. Our next drop off is Christmas, but we like to do it quarterly. So Christmas, a lot of time it's Mother's Day, and then we started to celebrate the Father. So this is a
Good.
point I wanted to touch on. If you follow me on social media, Alena0916, you'll see a lot of stuff that I've been doing for moms, but everybody knows that I have a supportive husband. I went through the journey with him,
Right.
but I can only speak from my standpoint, right? From
Right.
my experience. And I never wanted to share Wendell's story. I want Wendell to share his story because it's
Right.
very different from mine. One of the things that he said was when he was in the hospital, they didn't look and talk to him anyway. They always, look at the mom. They ask for the mom's signature.
Wow.
So a lot of times men don't even feel valued when they're there. So, he's been more vocal about his experience and what he's gone through, where we've had, private events where he's talked to dads that are in the NICU. We've
Wow.
hired dads for Father's Day and just say, hey, we see you showing up for your kids too. So even though we're mamas and miracles, we do things for fathers. Another time we had an event at the hospital where we gave them signed Georgia footballs and 2 tickets to the football game for UGA. So just different things like that to say, hey, you all are important too. We see
Right.
you. So again, it's not just the moms that are going through it; it's the dads too.
Right. That's amazing. That's amazing. So you guys, she dropped them handles, them social media handles. They'll also be in the description box on YouTube on this story and on this recording that'll be on the YouTube channel. So if you guys didn't hear what she said or you didn't write it down quick enough, it would definitely be in the description box. Thank you so much for coming, Lena.
Thank
I
you for
appreciate
having
you, boo.
me.
Look beautiful. Like y'all look, check her outfit out.
Look,
Okay.
thank you. Look, I said, I'm always in pajamas, so thank you for giving me a reason to get dressed up today.
I said, look, let me go get my life together. Let me just put on a shirt. Sis don't even want to put on a bra. I'm
Look,
tired.
it's gonna come right on off as soon as I hit off. So thank you so much for having me. I look forward to seeing you at homecoming so we can have a good time.
Yes, exactly. I cannot wait. Y'all go get some apparel. She got
Yes.
some new fatigue hats that just came out. I had to cop me one of those.
Yes.
Super dope. I love me a hat, honey. Look, I'm about these braids about to come out. I'll put a hat on real quick.
And if you want to learn more about our story and some of the things that we went through, like I said, I didn't share everything. But if you know another mom that is going through a NICU experience, you can purchase my book on my website, either trustyourstrength.org or on my personal website, which is the Mom Strength Apparel page. It's AlenaSmith.com. So
y'all get that book. Yes. Definitely influential and inspirational. And if you know anybody that is pregnant, it would be beneficial for them to read it while they're pregnant. I know, like my sister, she's pregnant and
she is.
Yeah, child, she due any day now. And the baby's like 8 pounds. I said, girl, you having a whole child. You're not having a baby.
Oh my goodness. Tell her congratulations.
I will, child. I see her a post. Somebody had put up a post. It was like popular baby name. She was like, I already know my baby name. I was like, I was just passing off some information to your ass. I was like, I cannot with her. But I appreciate you coming up here, boo. It was amazing. We are here every Wednesday for Women Supporting Women Wednesday. And we are here at 9:15 every Wednesday. Be sure to click the notification link and the subscribe button. I appreciate you, boo. Thank you so much.
Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for having me.
Guys, have a good night. Thank you, boo.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.